Please be advised of the disclaimers.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Sai with Pinnacle Trading here. Today we're going to take a quick overlook of the markets, where they're at, and they're entering correction right now. I'll show you on the chart in just a second, and we'll also go over if Tesla and Apple stock are ready to enter the correction and sell off pretty hard. So let's jump into that. But first, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the like button after you watch the video. So let's jump into the overall markets now. I'm watching the futures right now go down, and also we're going to take a look at S&P 500. This is the one I look at for the overall market. So we're going to see that, we saw a nice sell-off in the pre-market from 391 or so from Friday close, and then we saw a sell-off. We saw a bit of a gap up here. The markets just can't get over the 390 resistance. You see, they really tried, they can barely break over 389.5 and just sold off from there. So I'm going to zoom in right here. We can see 389.5 resistance. They tried to break out. I got a breakout alert there, but markets just broke support and just could not break over 390. And we're seeing that from last week as well. We saw the sell off from 395, and what happened? It's just getting weaker and weaker, really running out of steam. And we look at an overview of the chart. Let's zoom in a little bit on this one. We're seeing the 50 SMA getting very close to being tested. So in the last video that I talked about, this was 2 to 3 weeks ago, I talked about markets where they peaked, and I talked about the support levels to watch. Temporary support is going to be 390, which did break, and we're below that. And we're going to look at 380 next, 385 and 380 for this week. If the 380 support breaks and the 370 doesn't hold, look for it to flush down really quick, and within a couple weeks all the way down to the 200 SMA. So that's the overall view of the markets, and also gonna go over Apple and Tesla, because these have been the biggest market movers, at least Apple and Tesla. Since after Tesla got added into S&P 500, we saw it move the market upward movement a lot. And also it got some bad news today regarding the Model Y production cuts, and that was a sudden cut. So the big thing, I was going to make this video yesterday, Sunday night, but today I'm making it right now because I want to see the support test and see where it goes. Because Tesla, every time it's just been gapping up. Anytime it comes back down to the support level, it's just been gapping up and kept going up. So we're going to take a look at this one a little bit more specific in just a second. But right now we see that it could not hold at 800. And I called this out in the chat room, which by the way is free to join for everyone. Link is in the description, and also I'll post it in the video as well. So I was talking about Tesla and Apple on this one. So I talked about S&P 500, the support levels, also talked about Tesla 800 level, and that if it can't hold 750 and if it breaks below, it's going to really pull market down. So that's where we are right now. And Apple as well broke 130, couldn't hold it, now testing 125. And then today, these are the levels I'm watching at. I post this live, second by second, the latest updates in the chat room. So make sure to join to stay updated on that one. So if you watch those alerts, you would have known that it's a good time to take profits or maybe even sell, or if you want to play on downturn with puts, option puts, and short sell the stock. So we're going to see this one right now break the 50 SMA, which it has. So the next support I'm looking at is going to be where I have an alert right here at 700. And then we're going to look this for it flush down, maybe test 600, 500 or so this year if we get that big market correction that I'm looking for. But I really don't think the value is really good over 400, 450. And I'll show you why in just a second. And the next one, we're going to take a look at the Fibonacci script on this one to show you the key price points. So all-time highs were at 900, and then we have the big support that I'm watching at 800, which broke. This is a bearish pattern right here. You see the triple top test, and then we see a sell-off. It's kind of like a mountain setup right here. That's a bearish setup, and that's a simple chart pattern that I teach in my course. And then we have 700 support breaking right here. So we're going to take a look and see tomorrow. And also we have the Fed speaking, which I'll talk about in just a second. But we have 700 support, and then next all the way down to 600. So if it does break 700, maybe breaks about 680, 675, look for it to flush down quick to 600, 500 levels very easily, just because of how big of a bubble the stock is, and also just how much it went up in the past couple of years. So next one, we'll take a look at Apple. So Apple has been going up consistently. We saw a nice sell-off recently, in April down to 53. This was before split, so the price points are a little bit adjusted because of the split, and then we saw it make all-time highs, sell off, make all-time highs again. So this one has been just fluctuating over the 50 SMA, and now it's starting to break it, just like Tesla. So we see the 130 support, which I called out in the chat room, could not really hold. So the next support is going to be all the way at 125 and then 120. And when we look at the Fibonacci chart on this one, we can see that right here, the 123. So I like to go with the whole dollar support, so I'll give it a little bit more cushion. So we look at 125 support, we look at 120. So those are going to be the big support levels you want to watch. 125 and 120 for this week and into end of February. So yeah, which will be this week, and then we want to look next all the way to 110. So when we break the big supports like 130, 125, 120, from there on I like to look at wider spread range, just because of it just goes into the no man's land. So if it starts flushing below the major support, it can easily flush down because of stop losses being taken out, and also market makers doing that, and also just guys on Wall Street just manipulating it, pulling it down so they can get in cheap. So those are the big two that I'm looking at, Apple and Tesla right now. So make sure to note down those key price points on Thinkorswim. You can also click create alert, and then it can send you that text message or mobile alert, or even an email if you have it set up properly. So we're going to look at the next thing, at the yield curve that I've been calling out. And this is, you can also go on CNBC, click on bonds, and look at the US 10-year. So I'll make a separate video on this one later this week after the Fed's talk. But right now we're seeing this one go up as well. If we look at the recent 3 months, we're seeing this come up, and this is a big indicator of a recession, or that markets are very inflated. Inflation comes into play, and notice that this is a website I like to use, gurufocus.com, because it shows a really nice simple graph if you're not sure what these are. And I'll go over that in my next video, but basically where you see this 1.27, right now we're about 1.37, so it's just been spiking up. If it starts going over 2-3%, that's where we start seeing the market crash or a recession happen, and it's been a great indicator for the past 7 recessions. So it happens about every decade, so the past 30, 40, 50 years we've seen this happen very closely. So that's my analysis on Apple and Tesla. I think they can easily sell off, and when you look at S&P 500 as well, we're seeing the next key price support at the 385 and the 380 levels. But if you look at the normal chart, 50 and 200 SMA will be the big indicators, because that's what most people watch in the market, and that's what the algorithms play along with as well. So watch for that 378, 380 support this week. If we start breaking that and break the 370, look for it to quickly flush down, just because of how big of a market bubble it has been. So I'm looking for a 300 fall this year. That's going to be my overall target. I want to see markets pull back down to 300. That's where we'll come back to reality. That will be about a 25% correction, but that's where we can come back to reality in the markets, just because of how big of a bubble it became. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think markets are great time to start selling, or do you think the dip is going to be great to buy immediately? And what do you think about Apple and Tesla? And also, if you want to join the chat room, link is in the description, or you can head over to my website, pinnacletrading.us, scroll down, click the button join now for free. And also, if you want to learn how to do chart analysis, how to identify these supports that I have, keep yourself from getting burnt in the market, follow proper risk management, I do offer a course, and this is of great value because I teach you from stock market education, from the foundation, then we go into trading and investing, and then we go into some of my secrets too. But it starts with the education, which I believe is important in any field, whether it's stock market trading, or you want to be a doctor, or you want to construct houses. You need to have the education and also have the proper mindset, and then go into the topics as well. So if that's something of value to you, send me a message in the chat room. I can get you the best price available. But if you are interested in grabbing right now, scroll down and click the buy now button. So hope this video helped you out. Make sure to hit that subscribe and like button, as I do make 1 to 2 videos every week. And I've also been working on the blog, which will be going up soon, within a couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. Hope you guys all have a great trading week. I'll talk more about the yield curves in the next video, so that's coming up later this week.